We live in a society, we live in a world where talking sometimes to people feels necessary. Talking is a common thing. Freedom of speech is a common thing. It happens every day. Millions of conversations going on each second, each minute, each hour. Just more conversating, but very few people know the power of silence. The key of silence, what silence can hold. There's this quote that comes to mind where it says, talking is silver, but silence is gold. If anybody knows anything about silver and gold, silver is valuable. To have silver is to have value, is to have you have this silver piece that holds value. But if anybody knows the other thing about gold is way more valuable than silver. Hand in hand, gold will always win because it's more valuable. And people don't understand that sometimes talking isn't necessary. Sometimes getting the last word in isn't necessary. Sometimes speaking just to speak isn't necessary. Having to feel like you have to say something isn't necessary. When you're silent, you have room to observe. When you're silent, you have room to listen. Not only does silence build your strength, but it also builds your patience. Silence hits harder than hate. What do I mean by that? I mean, when somebody does something to you that wasn't okay, their automatic response from you, they feel like you're ready to retaliate. And half the time, that person's ready to get you back right after you retaliate. But very few people expect you to be silent. People don't expect you to not have the last word. People don't expect you not to say anything for the consequence of them doing something. And therefore, they're ready to start that war. They're ready for you to come at them so they can throw some more stuff at you back. But they're not ready for your silence. And sometimes that silence can hit them like a brick wall. Sometimes that silence can hit the maturity in their mind to what I'm doing is petty, or what I'm doing is not mature, is not doesn't make sense. If you have an idea, be silent about it. Why should you be silent? As soon as you speak about your idea, as soon as you speak about your business idea, your creative idea, what you want to start, what you want to accomplish, you just gave that person that you just told, that you just spoke to, you just gave them room for them to hate. You just gave them room for them to add their hatred feedback. You just gave them room for them to criticize. You just gave them room for them to tear down your idea. And you just gave them room to take your idea. If you're ready, you're saving up for that new car, good for your new car. Keep that to yourself. If you're saving up for that new house, that's great. Keep that to yourself. You're ready to start that business? Perfect. Keep that to yourself. People don't understand the power of silence. Some of these big billionaires, some of these big millionaires, you don't know nothing about their life because they are silent. They know the key. They mastered that key. You wonder why they're so rich. Yes, their business is so good, but at the end of the day, the other half of that is they didn't let people know what they were planning on doing. They shock people with this thing, and then it turns out to be the big thing. It turns out to be the new invention, but nobody knew because it was silent. People don't understand the key, the power of silence. Everybody feels like they have to get the last word in. Everybody feels like, oh, if I just say this last thing, this will destroy the person. Listen, not only is silence powerful, but sometimes we say things in the moment. Sometimes we do things in the moment. Sometimes we react in a way in the moment. And I know I'm not the only one who later on, when they react in a certain way in the moment, they regret what they did in the future. They regret what they did the next day. They regret what they did within an hour. They regret what they did as soon as they said it. But just because in the moment you let your flesh, you let your human body, you let your mind, you let your emotions take over and say what you didn't mean. But if you mastered silence, if you were to overcome the silence, then you wouldn't be in that situation. You wouldn't feel like you have to one up a person. You don't feel like you have to say something to that person that did you wrong. Yes, they did you wrong. So here's what you do. You pray about it. You set aside everything and you pray about it. Is that all you got? That's all I got to do, pray? Yes, that's what you do. You pray about it. When you're silent, when you learn how to be silent, it forces your mind to have patience, forces your mind to have strength. And not only that, but silence also opens your mind to think for yourself. It opens your mind to have that creativity flow in your mind. Do people realize when you're talking to somebody, when you're talking about something, your mind's on what you're talking about. When people keep talking about the same thing, when they say the same thing over and over again to different people, that's all what your mind thinks about. That's all what your mind is about. Silence opens up opportunity. Silence opens up idea. Silence opens up creativity. And people don't understand that creativity comes from your silence. Creativity comes from your mind. If you're silent, that means your mind is silent to think, to freely think. When you become silent, when you become mature in the head, mature in the brain, to know when to speak and know not to speak, when somebody has the decency, somebody has the audacity to disrespect you, to be rude to you right to your face, and you have the ability to just look, listen, and not react, that will change your whole mindset. That will change your whole way how you carry yourselves. Some people think they have to say something to keep the reputation. Some people think if I say something, people can't run over me. If you don't say something, people can't run over you because there's no situation that happened for them to run over you. Get what I'm trying to say? Like, a lot of situations happen even if we don't notice because of yourself, because of what you did, not knowing what you did. You think you're in the right, but really you're in the wrong. And the other person who's reacting, the other person who's disrespecting you and yelling at you is just reacting from what you did and what you said. But if you had silence in the beginning, that wouldn't have happened. The power of silence is way beyond the normal brain, but it's so easy to master. Silence, you don't have to take a class for it. This is your class right here. As soon as you turn off this video, go in a room, grab a seat, don't put no music on, put your phone away, isolate yourself, and allow your brain to think. Whatever your brain is thinking, take a piece of paper and write down exactly what you're thinking. I promise you, if you do that once a day, every day, your brain will start to develop in a way where it's way mature than it should be. Your brain will start to develop in maturity. It will start to develop in the way it was supposed to develop. We were never meant to be disrespecting each other. We were never meant to just say whatever and it will be okay. We were never meant to verbally bully people. That was never a meant for the human race. That was never meant for us. So if you master that silence, if you master not to talk, if you master that creativity in your mind, you'll become a whole new person. You'll become a way better person. So right now, take a piece of paper, go sit down, isolate yourself, and write. See what you come up with. See what your brain comes up with. See what's been locked in there that whole time that needs to come out. Don't text that person. Don't yell at that person. Write down how you feel. Think about what you're saying. Think about before you say what you say, think about it. That's all I got to say today. Blessings.